everyone, it's Amy from Eager to Stamp coming to you on a Sunday morning. It is a wintry but very sunny day here in Esperance, Western Australia. I hope the weather is going well with you all today as well. We're going to be making this gorgeous mail card today. It's just a simple A-frame card, nothing too crazy going on, but we can all struggle with making a card for a guy. So I have 4 men in my immediate family, so making mail cards is kind of like not an option that I can get away with. So I do make it a bit of a mission to create mail cards whenever I can. And I found in the new paper that is coming out from Stampin' Up, it's called the Iconic Celebrations. It's a 6x6 designer series paper. And when you look at it, the first thing you see is this Christmas paper that's on the front. And yes, there is Christmas paper in here. But I love it because it's called Iconic Celebrations, which means that it's actually covering many celebrations, not just Christmas. So on the back are some other designs, of course, candy cane, then we've got like a leaf pattern, which is adorable. Then we kind of go like, this is New Year's. So I'm in Australia, so these things will mean different things to different people. For me, this would symbolize New Year's, but it could also symbolize engagement, wedding. It's got a beautiful mauve color on there, and then on the back, love hearts. So it could be Valentine's. We move on. We've got some kind of autumn themed ones, leaf and acorns, and then the spotted pattern on the back, a lovely plaid, and on the back of the plaid we've got like some berries and leaves. We move on, we've got stripes, some autumn leaves on the back. Oh, I love this paper. Now this is the paper that we're going to be using today. It has got a firework image on there, and then on the back we've got candles. So to me this is birthday, but also could be New Year's. So we're going to keep one of these out because we're going to be using that today. I love this sheet here with the beautiful moody mauve Christmas trees or pine trees in the background, and then snowflakes on the back. So Christmas, and then we've got pumpkins, and on the back of that is a lovely plaid again, can't think of the colour, and we've got this gorgeous doves with the stars on the back. We've got another stripe, looking at Misty Moonlight there, and we've got this beautiful colour here. This would be pecan pie and Christmas trees, and finally this gorgeous confetti one. How gorgeous is that, with some moody mauve stars in the background. So these papers are absolutely adorable. And did you notice so many mail cards? The colours are perfect for masculine cards. So grab yourself a pack of that paper when you can. So the colours that this uses is Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, Misty Moonlight, Moody Mauve, Mossy Meadow, and Pecan Pie. The only colour that I'm missing from there is the Moody Mauve, which means that when it comes to, well, it's even in here. So it's in the paper that we're using today. You've got some Moody Mauve. So when it comes to Moody Mauve, I was kind of struggling a little bit to how to work this paper. But I also played with this for a female birthday card, and I matched it with one of the new in colors, and it went perfectly. So that new in color was, sorry about this, that new in color was Petunia Pop, right? Petunia Pop. actually goes really, really well with that. So if you don't have Moody Mauve, sorry, then Petunia Pop will go well. All right, so here's the card that we're making, and there's that gorgeous DSP of the candles, and the colors that are on this paper, you've got your Mossy Meadow green, there's Misty Moonlight, and the candle flames are Cajun Craze. Isn't that gorgeous? And if you notice, I've also done a little piece where I've reversed it, and I'm using that firework pattern for a strip in the background. There is some gorgeous gold, so little pieces of gold that are kind of sticking out from there, but the majority of the card is done in a Misty Moonlight color. So we're going to start off with a Misty Moonlight card base. We've got our gold mat. Our DSP is going to be adhered to a Misty Moonlight mat and then moved apart so that you get the Misty Moonlight between. We've got our insert, we've got a bit of scrap white, which we're going to use our dies on. These are our 2 dies that we're going to use, and we're also going to cut the small one from the white and the larger one from the Misty Moonlight. And here's our little gold strips that we're going to be using. I love the Stamp It Up catalogue, but I am struggling to kind of put my finger immediately on items that I need. So this is actually where I'm finding the online shop to be super helpful, because all I have to do is I have to just go to the die page, and then straight away I can see all the dies that are available, because as you know, we now have online exclusives and not everything is in the catalogue. So I'm actually finding that the online catalogue is amazing. Now, of course, these were the nested essential dies, and they really are essential. I use these a lot. Everything's been cut up except for this gorgeous Designer Series paper, so that's what I'll be cutting up very soon. Just quickly, the sizes, I'm in Australia, so we are using a standard card size, which for us is 14.8 by 10.5. I am using a strip of gold, which is 9.5 centimeters long. It's about 2.3 centimeters in width. A bit of scrap of gold, and then punched out with the labels punch, which you can buy as a bundle, and it's the labeled with love set. So I'm using the punch, and I'm also going to be using this happy birthday for the sentiment. So those two have come in right in handy. As I said, just scrap piece of Misty Moonlight to cut out a large die, and then a scrap piece of white to cut out the smaller nested essential dies. This is our insert, so this is 14.3 centimeters in length by 10 centimeters in width. Our mat that our Designer Series paper is going to go on is 9.5 centimeters in width, and it is a 13.2 centimeters long. Our DSP then will be cut to 13.2 centimeters long, but its width will be different. That'll be 8.5, and that will give us that little bit of room just to separate them and make them a bit wider. I'll do that. That'll be next. And the last bit was our gold mat, so 10 centimeters by 13.7 centimeters. Okay, I am nattering on this morning, aren't I? So let's quickly get into it. So we're going to bring in our cutter or our trimmer. And because I like to cut my designer series paper so that there is no waste, you're going to see me cut it into some specific measurements. I did forget to show you. So when I cut it into these specific measurements, it allows me then to have some little pieces that I'm then going to adhere to the inside of the card. And you'll see a little piece here, and I also need a little bit of gold there too. So that's just a little tip for you. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a bottom layer, and I'm going to cut that off at 1.8 centimeters. I'll find my 1.8 centimeters. Okay, I've given my trimmer a nice clean up. Look how beautiful that is cutting now. I also put a new cutter on there too, but I did clean up this part here, and everything is just working beautifully. Okay, so now I've just cut that 1.8 strip off. I'm going to cut this at 13.2 centimeters, so 13.2. Oh, I apologize, don't listen to me. I've done my 1.8 centimeters. Now that will actually leave me with 13.2 centimeters in length. Now I'm going to check that, because I did this the other day, and yeah, I probably should have done the 13.2 centimeter bit first, because there's just that little bit of overage, which I wouldn't have minded on here, but it does make a difference on here. Okay, now we need to cut this one at 8.5. So apologies, turn that around and then cut at 8.5. I don't need to press hard on my trimmer anymore, which is fantastic. Just going to keep this one. This one is 13.2 and it'll be 6.5 centimeters in width. I'm going to keep that one for another card. And this one now is our 13.2 by 8.5, and I'm now going to cut these into 2.8 centimeter strips for our card that we're making today. So 2.8 centimeters here, and then 2.8 centimeters on here. Yeah, you could probably do this any way that you wanted to. I do like my measurements, must be the teacher in me. Can't help myself. All right, so there's my 2.8 centimeter strips that I'm going to use today. This little piece that I trimmed off first, I would just like to cut that into a 10 centimeter strip, which would leave me with a 5 centimeter strip left over. Okay, that little 5 centimeter strip that we've got left over, I'm going to flip over, and that's going to be our little banner piece, so we'll keep that one to the side for later. And this piece of DSP that we have left is of course going on our card. That's our little strip that we've got here, and we're going to flip that one over too, and we're going to use the fireworks on that side. So we'll pop all this over here, we'll bring in our little pieces. What I might do is just keep our insert bits to the side for now. Okay, and we do need to cut our die pieces out at the moment too. There we go, our Misty Moonlight and our piece of white has now been cut from our scrap pieces, and we will grab out our sentiment, find that happy birthday. Okay, the happy is arranged in a straight line, so we'll just line that up on our glass mat here with our grid lines, and make sure our happy is straight. Put it on our stamping block. I'm going to stamp this in Misty Moonlight. Now this is a photopolymer stamp, this is a glass mat. There is no cushioning, so to alleviate that problem there, we just pull out a little foam mat, and we're going to pop our label onto there, inked up happy birthday, nice and juicy, and then center it. That's stamped up beautifully. And now we're ready to go ahead and assemble our card. We have got all of our pieces. So we'll bring in our card base and all our bits and bobs. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab our label and we're going to just cut that in half. And then our label, it's some multi-purpose glue. Now, you may prefer to use a like a Stampin' Seal to do this, because what I have found with the multi-purpose glue onto the gold foil is that it slips a little bit before it is fully dry. So that's just something you need to be aware of. So we're just going to, adhere that to the center. So 1, 2, 3, 3, yep. Okay, it does kind of slide and slip around a little bit, and okay, it's about center. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So just going to adhere this label, 2, 3, just to the middle of our sentiment. Adhere that down, and then that is going to be adhered straight onto the Misty Blue. There's no point putting any multi-purpose glue into that center bit because that's not actually going to even touch the Misty Blue, Misty Moonlight. Okay, and then that's going to be adhered to the center. Like so. Okay, lovely. All right, we're going to grab our strip of DSP that there's our candles, we flipped it over, and we're just going to, again, you may prefer to use the Stampin' Seal. I do have a Stampin' Seal, it's just that it's not located within reach right now. So we're just going to go, my favorite one, of course, the liquid glue. It's always in reach. So that is why I'm not using it right now. So again, oh, she's a little bit longer than that piece. What is, okay, that's okay. It's okay. So what I'm going to do, the gold is definitely the 9.5 centimeters, so that is what we want. So the gold is fine, and just that little overage, just trim it off. Not a problem. No mistakes here. Right, Just get some of that glue off and trim. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got our label, our strip. All right, now we're going to do our Designer Series paper strips. So we're going to bring in our Misty Moonlight, and we're going to go ahead and adhere. Now you could have a look and see if there is a, I don't think there is. I don't think any of those are matching. I think it's been a perfect line straight down the center. Okay, so we're going to apply our glue. Again, your stamping still might be quicker, and all you're going to do is you're going to match corner to corner, edge to edge, and glue that, aligning it perfectly. Okay, you can go ahead now and you can do the other side, leaving the middle free right now. Now for this design, if you're doing it in a different Designer Series paper, you could actually consider flipping your middle piece. Now I did try it for this card. It didn't actually work for this card. Well, I didn't like it, so I haven't done it. But yes, so you could actually flip and do that, but I'm not doing that today. Oh, isn't that beautiful though? Oh, I love it. I love that fire wet paper. It's adorable. Okay, and we're going to bring in our last panel, and pretty much all we're going to do is just use our eye and kind of try for an even gap between the papers. Okay, there we are. And if your edges are straight, then pretty much your paper is going to be straight too. Now, and again, that's the advantage of the multi-purpose glue, is that wiggle room. Not sure where I put the lid on that, because we're going to now adhere this bit onto our gold mat. Back it comes. Down we go. Gosh, you can tell I can teach by the way I glue, can't you? It's the same way I teach my kids. Round the edges and then through the middle. So we're just looking for a nice even edge, even spaces around the corner, the sides and top and bottom of our card. That is matted beautifully. Very happy with that. Okay, we can go ahead and keep constructing our card. There is no foam dimensionals on this card. We're going to go ahead now. We're going to adhere our strip. And our strip is basically in the top third of the card. So we're going to match edge to edge. You can have a quick little look and see if your lines are straight. Okay. Now what's going to happen is this is going to get glued over the top here. So we're just going to put a strip of glue down the center. Now, if you don't want this little bit and this little bit to be floppy, you can grab some scrap paper like so, and you can kind of, well, you're basically adding a dimension to it. So I'm just going to check if I glue that there, you won't see it. Now if I glue that to there, oh yeah, let's make sure it's centered. So if I glue that to there, and if I glue the other piece to there we go. Okay, so we've got this like raised lay here, and what that means is there's a slight lift underneath here. So if I won't go on top of my card, so if I'm just going to add a little bit of paper or cardstock to the back of my label, top and bottom, then what that does is that gives me also a little bit of dimension without using a dimensional, because that would then just lift it too high. So now we can actually glue here, here and here, and that should actually slot perfectly over the top . Wow, I even heard it click in. That's how perfect it was. And so what's happened now is we've got a nice flat top, bottom, and it all is in alignment with that middle part that's lifted up there. Okay, and all we have to do now is adhere it to the front of our card. So if I hadn't been waffling on, it's actually a very quick card to make up once you've got your bits. Once you've prepared your bits, it's actually a very quick card to put together. All right, now this is about 13.7. So there's actually going to be a bigger gap at the bottom and top than on the sides. So we just got to be mindful of that when we glue it on to get that gap. There we are. And we're going to do the inside part. So for the inside part, we're going to bring in here, we're going to create ourselves a little banner. So I just like to cut straight up the middle, and then cut little triangles out. That's my banner. There we go. And we also need a little bit of scrap gold. All right, and again we're just going to cut up the middle and then cut out 2 triangles on either side. There we go. 2 banner pieces. Bring back our insert, and we will add here, I think add here the longer one to the outside. Yep. Yep. Now, because I haven't created any waste when I initially cut this paper, I don't have any other scraps that I can use. But if you've been very busy making cards with this paper, you might have some bits here and there that you could add and create a kind of a longer banner, bigger banner. And I'm just going to cut, we're just going to layer that just a little bit over the side there. It's always nice. and insert in the middle. I'll flip it over. And adhere to the center. Now this one is 14.3 by 10, so there should be an equal border, sides and bottom. Nice. Okay. Right, I hope you enjoyed making a happy birthday card for one of the guys that you have in your life. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye.